Oh my gosh, it is that time of year again. NCLEX time. People from my old university, they're already posting. They're kind of freaking out about NCLEX, right? The big exam. This is what it's all for. Relax, okay? These are just some tips and tricks that work for me personally. If you feel that you learn differently or you already have your plan set in place, don't let this throw you off. Follow whatever works for you. But if you're starting off and you're like, I don't even know where to start, this might be a good starting point, and this is what worked for me. So tip number 1 is take it sooner rather than later. Sometimes people get so much anxiety at the thought of this exam that they want to put it off. But you're just delaying the inevitable. You have to take this exam. And you know more than you think you know. This is fresh in your mind. The content is fresh in your mind. So I would say within 1 to 3 months of graduation, if you can take it sooner and you feel comfortable with that, take it sooner. But within 1 to 3 months, take your NCLEX exam. Prepare as much as you can within that time frame. Put your time in, study hard, and then take your exam, okay? Advice number 2 is Hearst reviews or some equivalent of that as far as lectures. I loved Hearst reviews because they had that sweet little country lady really in a thick country voice that kind of kept your attention and gave you great content structure. That's Hearst reviews, right? If you've listened to Hearst reviews or you listen to it later, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Country lady giving these lectures, awesome content. What I did was I split up those lectures into a time frame that allowed me to study them within a certain time frame and still have a week left before the exam, and I'll explain why in a second. So I split up those lectures and divided them into the days I was going to study, and then every single night after those lectures I took one exam, maybe 75 questions. Maybe I usually tried to do 75 questions. If you're tired and want to do less, go ahead, but I'll try to do 75 question exams. And if you bomb these practice exams, relax, calm down. You're not a failure in life. You're not going to end up cleaning windows for a living. A lot of people bomb the exams, the practice exams, and then they actually do well on NCLEX. Okay, so stay calm and trust the process. Tip number 3 is Kaplan. Personally, I was a strong believer in Kaplan. I still love how Kaplan prepared me for the NCLEX exam. A lecturer from Kaplan came in and said, look, we made these exams so close to the real thing, we only changed them just enough to get away from copyright infringement lawsuits. And when I took the NCLEX exam, I saw what they were talking about. Down to the shade of color, the timer, the calculator, I felt very comfortable because I felt like I was just taking another Kaplan exam. And that's how you should feel. You should practice the way that the exam's going to be. So I like Kaplan. If you have another one that you want, go ahead and use them. But personally for me, I really liked Kaplan reviews. So I did those 75 questions a night. Now, in the last week, I did 3 75 question practice exams and I reviewed the rationale. That's what I did the week before. So I was done with my lectures, done reading, done all that. I was doing practice exams now. That was it for my week leading up to the exam. So 3 75 question practice exams and then be done. And review the rationale. The rationale is so important. Review the rationale. If you get it wrong, review. Why did I get it wrong? Even sometimes you get things right, but you had the wrong rationale and you learn, oh man, this is why. Things start to click. And before you know it, you're becoming more and more comfortable with the exam process and the way that the exam expects you to think. Tip number 4 is that last day by noon or 1 p.m., be done studying. Take time off, relax, hang out with your friends, hang out with your loved ones, just relax, have a nice meal, get some sleep, and be ready for a big, awesome day the next day. Tip number 5, and my final tip, is make this a competition. For those of you who do sports, you understand the mentality that you have before a big game or a big match. You need to go into this exam with that same mentality. You are going to kick this exam's butt, right? You are prepared, you've gone through school, you've done your preparation. Your goal should no longer be, I want to pass this exam. Don't let that be your goal. Your goal should be, I want to pass the exam within 75 questions, right? So go in hyped up, excited, go in and be ready to kick this exam's butt. when you're taking this exam, my tip is if you start to feel mentally fatigued, if you feel like you're not caring anymore, take a break, right? Go ahead and walk. I have literally during some exams, I've put my head down on the desk. Obviously you don't have all day, but I just put it down long enough just to clear up, just to start caring again, get motivated, get excited, and get back into it, okay? If you go over the 75 questions, my tip is take a quick break. You've done this already. For days leading up to this exam, you've done 3 75 question exams. So take your break, relax. Do not let it get you down at all, okay? There may have been some really tricky questions in your first ones, in your first 75. There may have been some questions on content you didn't understand, like pediatrics or OB. So relax, take a break, come back, get ready to do another 75 questions, all right, and kick this thing's butt. And do that until the exam ends, okay? I would break it up into 75 question segments, okay? So let's say you get to 150 and you go to 151. You did it, take a break, get up, walk, use the restroom, whatever you gotta do. Put your head down on the desk, relax. You're fine, okay? You're fine. Take it again, another 75 segment, because you've done this already. You're prepared. So, biggest thing is, what I want to stress is preparation, preparation, preparation. You need to put the work in. Posting on social media, talking about studying, posting books, open books on Instagram, that's not going to get you to pass the exam. I'm not saying, oh, don't do that. It's terrible if you do that. I'm just saying, you got to put the work in, okay? Best of luck to all you all. Here's my tips summarized here. 1 to 3 months, take that exam. Hearst or any lecture equivalent. Kaplan, or if you have another exam equivalent. Take that time off, relax, de-stress. It's game day, okay? So go ahead, take your NCLEX, kick its butt, and once you do, go have an awesome celebratory dinner, and welcome to the beginning of an awesome, amazing career.